Today's video comes to you thanks to Azazel The Fallen, one of my top tier members who has requested to see this list. Remember, if you'd like to become a member and support the channel, there's a little join button down there. It costs like $3 a month. Jump on board. So we are focused in on a poison deck today, and we are looking at Crobat VMAX, one of those cards that was popular a while ago, but it's kind of fallen off the face of the earth a little bit. It's back now with Stealth Poison, a Dark and a Colorless Energy deals 70 damage, plus we can also poison our opponent's active Pokemon. Not only that, but we also retreat to the bench as well. Bit of hit and run damage from our Crobat, which is really, really strong. We've got a 4-3 line, which combos quite nicely with Dark Asset. Crobat allows us to draw extra cards, which is always great. And our plan is to retreat into our Galarian Weezing, which will stop our opponent from using abilities of their own. Galarian Weezing turns off all abilities in the game, apart from neutralizing gas, which is fantastic because Pokemon like Drizzile and Inteleon can't use their abilities. Crobats, nope, can't use them. Shadow Rider Calyrex, absolutely not. We are going to be able to control our opponent's abilities by having Galarian Weezing in the active, then hopefully we can retreat back into our Crobat and do it all again next turn. Now, we are only dealing 70 damage plus 10 every turn with poison, so it can become quite difficult to get to those big numbers. We do have Max Cutter for an extra energy to deal 180, but that won't always do the job, so I have a 4-4 line of Toxicroak in this list, which has the ability More Poison. Surprisingly enough, that gives us the ability to apply more poison. For every time our opponent's poison damage ticks over, instead of putting 1 damage counter on, we'll put 2 more on, which is fantastic. If we get extra Toxicroaks in play, we can deal heaps and heaps of poison damage to the point where our Crobat can theoretically be half-hitting some Pokemon with Stealth Poison. Really, really powerful attack, a really cool deck. Here it is for you if you want to take a look. It's also down in the description. You can copy that into PTCGO and play along as best you can. We'll see how we go with it. Whilst you're there, like the video. That would be great. Beautiful. So let's get into a game here. We've got this is not a good start. This is a bad start. I was hoping that I could talk through how we're going to try and do this, but nothing's happened. That's okay. We're playing up against Single Strike. Not super great, but it looks like our opponent has opted for the Tyrant. They've had a slow start too. And we've got a Koffing and we've got a Weezing. Alright, suddenly this is starting to look a little bit better. We can play Research or Marnie here. I'm thinking Marnie is probably the best option. Kind of don't want to get rid of all of my Evo Incenses this early. And this is a pretty good situation to be in. We've got an Energy here. We can attach that to the active. Plus, we can also Quick Ball and grab ourselves a Crobat. So we'll play... I think we play down the Koffing and then we play down the Crobat just in case. Probably could have attached an energy to the Weezing, but we managed to find the Hiding Dark. What we'll do is we'll attach to the Crobat and then get rid of another Marnie here, grab ourselves a Croagunk, and next turn we will potentially... We probably should have just attached to the Weezing. I was like, maybe we'll be able to attack with Crobat VMAX, but you know what? It's going to be very difficult. That's okay. We'll give it a crack, we'll see what happens. We might find that we have some sort of scoop-up situation where we can just retreat. It'll be fine, we can just switch. Most importantly though, our opponent won't be able to use any of their abilities, so that Crobat that they're grabbing out with Sonya, it's going to be pretty sad if they throw it down. They won't be able to use it at all, so looking forward to that. Plus we know that our opponent cannot attack this turn. They do not have the ability to use Houndoom. That is a sad pass. Alright, what have we got? We got a Crobat VMAX. Let's just commit to this play. We're going to throw down the Toxicroak. We're going to attach the Hiding Dark Energy. No, we'll just Crobat. We'll just Crobat. I said I was going to commit. I'm not going to commit. It's fine. We got to switch anyway. It's all good. Let's attach to the Crobat. We will throw that down, switch into it. And then we can Stealth Poison. That seems pretty good. Deal 70 damage, plus we get 10 from the poison. We retreat back into the Weezing to stop our opponent from doing anything, plus we deal more poison damage thanks to Toxicroak. So looking pretty good. Means that in the next couple of turns, if we can get another attack off, we will be able to get a knockout on this Tyranitar, which is incredible, really. They are going to retreat to stop us from doing that. That's perfectly reasonable. They're allowed to do that. I'm upset. I'm not going to lie. But it's okay. They're saying well played. Again, I don't know that it's well played. I'll say I'll say smiley face back. I don't know that it's well played. This game is definitely not over. Okay, so we've Marnied into nothing here. But we can Severe Poison. And I think Severe Poison will actually... No, let's just attach to the Crobat. That's the smart thing. I was about to say, we could Severe Poison into the Houndoom and take a knockout, but I don't think that it ever makes that much of a difference. I'd rather just sit here and... Our opponent's not going to do anything anyway. They've not got the ability to do anything, because they don't have any abilities. So we're just going to sit back, power up a second Crobat, just in case things get a little bit awkward, and it should be fine from here. We could have Severe Poisoned. We would have taken the knockout on the Houndoom, but like I said... The Houndour, sorry. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal. The one prize really doesn't matter that much. You don't need to attack a bunch of times anyway. So here comes the Houndoom. Obviously not particularly useful right now, but later in the game it could be useful for our opponent. They're going to research and get themselves some more cards. I saw they just discarded a fighting type single strike Urshifu, which is very awkward for them. We're going to grab Hiding Dark Energy and we're going to grab another Weezing. We can attach the Hiding Dark to the active. It gives us the ability to retreat. Plus, we've also got the Weezing on the bench. Let's see here. I mean, we can just Severe Poison, right? We'll just do that. Again, could have done that last turn. Probably should have done it last turn, but it's okay. It's whatever. It's not a problem. I'm not too fussed about it. This is Misplaced City. I'm very tired. You can probably see it in my eyes. But yeah, not great. But you know what? We're gonna live. It's going to be fine. Our opponent playing down another Houndoom. Not necessarily super useful. I'm going to sneeze. Oh. I'm sorry. I'll try and remember to mute that when I'm editing. But there are no guarantees in life. You might just have that in the video. Good grief. Boy, this is not going well. It's fine. Alright, so we have the Crobat. We can poison here. It's going to be fine. We've got Croagunk as well. Top decking the energy means we can max cut it if we want to. And I think it's probably worth doing that. We don't really mind if our opponent has abilities for a turn, especially if I'm removing all of their energy from the field. So let's max cut it. We'll take that knockout, take 2 prizes, and hopefully we don't get hard punished for it. Hopefully we don't see like a single strike Urshifu plus double attachment with the Houndoom and an attachment and a switch or something like that. Would be insane. But doesn't look like that's what our opponent's going for. They're going to max Toxify probably. We do have boss's orders, so we're looking pretty solid here. Plus, we've still got all of the pivots that we need. We can switch into the Weezing. We've got extra copies of Toxicroak floating around in the deck as well, so I'm feeling relatively comfortable. They do have that Urshifu down, though. That is very frightening. We will just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Looks like they're going to max Toxify, so that's going to deal 30 damage because of the single strike energy, plus 12 damage counters, which is enough to half hit our Crobat, which is unbelievable. It's actually very frightening. Let's boss here. I think we're going to boss the Houndour. So we can take a knockout on this with Stealth Poison, and move into the active, that Weezing. We've got another boss here. If our opponent doesn't boss us, then we can win next turn by bossing up the Crobat. That seems like a fine win condition. If our opponent Marnies, then it's not the end of the world because we can just go about our business, max poison, do what we need to do, and try and get the victory that way. But I think that's probably fine. This is I've not played particularly well. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this has been a perfect game, but it's working. And you can see that the way that the Crobat and the Weezing and the Toxicroak, they all work together in harmony. As you ought to be. Oh, perfect. There's the max Toxify, so we win. Yes, because they knock out the Weezing. And then we've got boss's orders into the Crobat that our opponent played down under ability lock, which is never a good idea. We'll bring out that Crobat and then max cutter, take the knockout. Let's see if I can go into another game with a clearer head. We'll try and not be quite as bad at Pokemon. Okay, a much better start this time. We'll get rid of the Weezing. I'm going to grab a Croagunk. And we've also got Crobat in our starting hand. What we'll do is we'll thin with Evo Incense, grab the VMAX. The only thing that we really want off of this Crobat for 2 is an energy, and we missed. I don't know what I was expecting off of a Crobat for 2, but hey, it's fine. We've got all of the pieces that we need in the next turn. Crobat plus Weezing plus Toxicroak. It should be a-okay. Our opponent looks like they're playing Suicune, and they've not managed to do too much at all here, so looking pretty solid. I will do all of my evolving now. I'll just throw down the Toxicroak, throw down the Weezing. It means that we won't be able to use Crobat, but that's okay. We can still play it down. Oh, no, we can still use Crobat. I don't know why I thought I couldn't do that. That's fine. And then we can just research, I think. I mean, we would have played the Crobat down anyway. I don't know why I didn't think that I could use it. Galarian Weezing only affects my opponent, right? Then we can attach to the Weezing, no, to the Crobat. Oh, I don't know. Let's attach the basic to the Crobat. We don't need to put the pressure on just yet. We'll pass the turn here. Probably could have Severe Poison, would have dealt a little bit of damage, 60 damage I think it would have been, but 60 damage doesn't really matter that much, especially at this stage of the game. But you know what? Feeling like maybe we could have still just done it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Our opponent's likely to take a knockout here regardless. They've played down a Drissile under neutralizing gas. That is not a very good play. People have got to stop doing that. Let's attach... I don't know, maybe we attach... Let's just Quick Ball. We'll Quick Ball away the money. We don't need that. Let's grab another Croagunk, because I'd really like to see some extra damage with these poison ticks. Then we can attach to the Weezing. I think that it's probably fine to leave this as it is. We could Crobat again. We could Piers. That's also fine. I'm going to grab... Let's think. I'm going to grab a Koffing and just a basic Dark Energy, I think. Is it? No, let's just grab the Koffing. Just thin a little bit, play that down. This is all fine. Severe Poison. I don't want to find myself in a position where I don't have access to a Weezing next turn. And if they do attack into us, we'll get knocked out. So grabbing the Koffing there seems like a perfectly acceptable play. We could have gone for a Toxicroak and tried to get even more damage with our Severe Poison, but I don't think that it's that big of a deal. And our opponent's just going to boss out the Toxicroak here. And this is actually a smart play. So this is an intelligent thing that our opponent's done, because bossing the Toxicroak doesn't just mean that our Toxicroak is locked in the active. We've got no way of getting it out. They also can now use their abilities, which means that their deck is functioning, which frankly is not something that I'm super keen on. But we've managed to buy some turns, so it's not been all terrible. So, no complaints. No complaints from me on this one. We'll wait and see, though. Anything could happen. Preferably, I'd like to see these 6 damage counters go onto Suicune this turn. If they could let us do that, that would be fantastic. And then we can potentially get ourselves a knockout in the next turn or two. Depends, of course, on how maths works. I don't know. I don't know how maths works. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm a mathematician, because I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a man in front of a computer screen. Grabbing out the Lotad. Okay, so we're looking at Ludicolo Suicune. Surprisingly enough, a deck that I haven't featured on the channel yet. There's a lot of meta decks that I just haven't done on the channel this time. It's actually been quite refreshing to not have to worry about that, to be honest. Because sometimes you don't want to play meta, sometimes you just want to do other stuff, and you're allowed to do other stuff. You're allowed to play Pokemon for fun, aren't you? I don't know. I'm rambling. I need to go to sleep. Good grief. It is very late at night. What is it, like? Almost 10 o'clock as I'm recording this? So, not good. Not good at all. But you know what? It'll be worth it if we manage to get the win. It's the only thing that I can ask for. Blizzard Rondo. Okay, so we get the tick. We get the extra damage, which is fantastic, and then we can also put our Crobat in the active, do some damage with this too, which I like. Now, we might just go for the Professor's Research here, to be honest. I don't think we need to Crobat. We can, but I don't think we need to. I want to leave that space open for a Croagunk if we can get it, and it looks like we do have it. We also have Toxicroak as well, so let's get rid of Koffing. We're going to grab ourselves the last Croagunk in the deck. We'll play that down, and then we can Stealth Poison. Do 70 damage plus 60, because it's still poisoned from the Weezing from before, which is super, super good. Does that change like that? Is that true? It's just reduced. It doesn't matter. Like, the number doesn't matter, I don't think. No, it does! It does matter. Is that a glitch? Is that a real thing? Should the poison reduce like that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to assume that it's fine. They're Blizzard Rondoing. Okay, so we've got all the bits, we've got all the bobs. Let's throw the Crobat into the active. We could do a myriad of different things here. That Evolution Incense is a massive godsend. Let's grab let's grab Crobat with Piers. You can grab Crobat, and I'll also grab a Hiding Dark Energy. We can attach to the Crobat in a second. We'll grab the Weezing though. We do need that because we're going to Stealth Poison into that Weezing this turn. We'll attach the Hiding Dark just in case things don't quite go as well for our opponent as we'd like, and a Toxicroak off of the top is fantastic. We Stealth Poison here, we take the knockout, we go into the Weezing. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and they need to have Energy plus Melanie in their hand, or otherwise they cannot attack this turn, because remember, they don't have the ability to use their abilities. They can't use Drizzile, and the promotion of Inteleon there suggests to me that they do not have it, which I think is very, very good. Just a pass, there you go. So you can see how this deck works, right? We just get the lock going, we can use our resources, get ourselves poisoning, we will retreat into the Crobat, we'll evolve into a Crobat VMAX, we've got energy to attach as well, and then bang, Stealth Poison, we hit this thing for 70, we poison it, it's going to do, what, 50 damage, and we head back into the Weezing. So it's looking pretty good. That's a half hit on a Suicune. You can't complain about that, can you? You can't complain about a half hit on a Suicune like that. I mean, you can, if you want. But yeah, they need, what do they need? They still need Melon. Yeah, they've got nothing, because we blocked them with the Weezing. It all works in the end. So you've seen the games, but how good is the deck really? It's alright. It's actually not too bad. Cost-wise, I'll give it a B. Crobat is a little bit expensive, and the VMAX is a little hard to get now, especially considering how old it is. It's from an older set that's a little difficult to get. I can't remember exactly which one it is. I think it's Shining Fates, but we'll wait and see. I'll be corrected there, because I've said the wrong set, but I don't care. It's too late. We're just going to carry on. Power-wise and consistency-wise, it does the job. There's nothing special about it. Obviously, if your opponent gets a little bit lucky, they will be able to get out of that lock that you've set up. But in general, Weezing is very powerful at the moment. Poison is a strong effect. Stealth Poison's a great attack. It does the job. It's not necessarily a top tier deck though. So thanks again to Azazel for recommending this one. It was a lot of fun, and especially good because we're at the end of the format and things are starting to get a little bit grindy. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself today. If you've stuck around to the end, then you're probably the type of person that would enjoy my live stream, which is coming up at what, like 7:30 PM on Friday, Eastern Daylight Time, or whatever you Americans call it, EDT? I don't know. All I know is that it's at 10:30 in the morning for me. So hopefully I see you then. Otherwise, leave a like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.